Muller podcast. Fagan Muller podcast. Fagan Muller podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Fagan Muller podcast, where we grow our professional self. Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, we've again got people in the music industry in the building. So you know, it's definitely the gems dropping.
Language.
That was and language will be dropped, so we know already it's part of the deal. But yeah, very importantly, it's for me again a privilege. I know I meet the people along the way. Pleased to have them here. So I'll give a little intro over to my guest this evening first, Mr. DJ Tekneek, Angelo Ford. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm well, thank you. And yourself, sir?
I'm great, man. Thank you for making it all the way here.
I don't actually live all that far. I live in Wynberg, but I had to go fetch somebody there in Kales River, so it is quite far. Consider where I had to go to.
Okay, the man from the north, let me get over the cream machine. How are you, brother?
Kayla cream is hier. Wat sê die manne? Ek hoop julle is duidelik. Ek hoop julle is easy.
Nee, baie goed,
Nou,
man, bro.
weet, om nie te wees. Groot fan van julle show, man. Vir jare nou al, die al die name changes.
And then over to the man on the left, Nental, the conspiracy theorist in the room.
Us.
Oh, snap.
So now and then. I want to just touch on this that Kareem said now, the name changes. How much times did the name change?
So we had the babbling heads.
Okay.
With respect to Shaq and
Is that still happening?
no.
Okay. And then you...
And then I need to mention Charlie as well. Charlie Ecstasy.
Nice.
Hy's 'n groot fan, doen. Hy's 'n groot fan.
Ja,
So but hulle kan ook al hier gewees het vandag nie. And then it went to the babbling heads projects where it was a lot of podcasts, and then it went over to CCM, Cape Conscious Media.
Oh, beautiful. So now we're at Cape Conscious Media, and I was telling him yesterday, I saw it at the summit. I was at Cape Community Media, another CCM, but yeah, we're trying to keep it conscious. I think dabbling into the two of your histories over the past couple of weeks.
You'll find a lot of that.
Yeah, I was deep diving into histories. It was good. So let me just give you this, and I give it to everybody always. The podcast is called Growing Your Professional Self. So everybody's a professional in every industry they're in. And that's important for people to understand who want to be in the industry. That you must be a professional. Because I think sometimes you get irritated with, I'm an educator with a lighty that just want to break into the industry, but you don't know that it comes with all these troughs and troughs, ups and downs. He got it. So this evening I wanted to touch on 4 laws, but through that I'll get the questions that I need to ask you guys, obviously, and very importantly, how those laws impacted you. And one of the first laws, it's from John C. Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. It was called the Law of the Lid. That's the first one. Did you ever see that experiment where they put the fleas in the jar? And they put the lid on? 2 weeks later, they take the lid off. It fleas don't jump further than that. So
They've been restricted.
They get used to the limitation.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. So I'm not even gonna start from the where you from and I want to do like deep dive. The first one is the law of the lid, and sometimes I feel through the two of you obviously long in that industry. There was a lid sometimes that you had to break through. Where do you think, like I'm starting with you, DJ Tekneek, where do you think that first lid was where you had to go like, I need to break through this because I want to stay in this industry?
Well, it's a simple thing. The lid was put on by your parents because DJing is a difficult and expensive pastime. And my mom's sent me to the best school, but DJing and scratching on records wasn't something she considered important. So, it's a typical so-called colored upbringing where your mother broke her back for a good education, but she wasn't going to break her back for like toys or a mixer from Fagan Gifts in Wynberg, and you had to go the yellow only in on the crossrider. She wasn't having that. So that was the first lid. You had to make money for your own equipment because there wasn't money, or they weren't interested in buying it. That was the first lid.
So
or DJ that, yeah.
But then post that. So now I know you broke through, as I did have in some of the early interviews. So now you get the shit, and now people Now the next lid is most the people.
I don't know, hip hop being what hip hop is, you know, you get yourself a crew, you hang around with friends, and as it is if one O's gonna DJ, then everybody DJs. One O's gonna B-boy, then everybody B-boy. Then you have a crew like that, or if you MCs, then you have a crew MCs. And being a bunch of young boys, especially turning into men, it's always kind of dog-eat-dog, cut-mark, and so we were kind of insulated from the rest of the world because within our crew, it was always a battle. When you came to the jaw, you battled MC because we also, unbeknownst to you, maybe we've got an album unreleased. Javon told you, I'm sure. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you released the thing, man.
And then, you know, in the car to the jaw, there's an MC battle. At home, there's a DJ battle here. That scratches swag here. So kind of insulated. So there wasn't really a lid place from outside. In fact, the lids we didn't do well with. I understand what you're saying, but that's more later on when you feel you're capable of something and you don't get a gig because of outside influences, or you can't get this because of that's a different situation. The lids were put on there, yes, but as far as lids that you put on yourself, very little. Very little.
And I think that's what's been common with speaking to people within any game. I call it the infinite games. The games that don't stop. The games that if we die, rap continues. You know what I mean? Hip hop continues. And then what a 12-year-old dream. Where is his lid?
My bro.
A 12-year-old one.
Sy verstaan nie eintlik hy nie because op die einde van die dag die lid is basically hoe sy groot geraak het. En hip-hop kan ek eintlik sê is maar nie te vir die lid. Hip-hop het gesê kyk ons doen net die ding man. Sien jy? Lighties waar ons is skam, so ek is 'n skam lightie. As ek hier rap is ek baie skam. Maar hy is my lid. Sien jy? Maar die moment as ek rap dan is daar nie limitations, jy verstaan jy? Is waar ek confident is en as mos 'n extension van speed so sy leer om confident te praat, sy leer om meer guts te hê om goed te doen, want sy kan feel hoe jy kry sekere energie van mense af wat jy feel as jy in jou element is, sien jy soos Tekneek ook nou gesê het. Ek dink die lids as jy praat industry wise soos baie mense sê gatekeeping en hy goed is, verstaan jy? Dan sal ek sê daar's baie hekke, daar's baie limitations en so, maar in terms van jou creative self, hoe jy die aard aanvat, denk ik as...
Yeah, hip-hop is almost a way to blow that lid over your...
So even with like, we just before we started, we were talking about the lid, like, hip-hop even, each people hitting the lid, because the lid, the definition is also like, if you work in the institute, for example, if you're in hip-hop and people say this is what you can only do, but you that man that like, fuck, there's something else we need to add. I was listening to one of your interviews where you were saying like, you used to only listen to the Kayla means, that was your means you used to listen to, that was your inspiration. And then at the same time, the southern suburbs bubble, since
the yellow
bubble in the southerns. But Cape Town in itself, we can push it in itself. We know it can be. We know it is bigger than Josie. We know that.
It started here, so
also
that's a bit
had
bigger.
That north-south difference. But did that also create? Now I want to speak about that lid in hip hop. You know what I mean?
Dit ook, hy wat allemaal in hulle eie bubbles gewees het, was ook 'n kwaai ding, want sy moet nie eens jou eie territory master. Sy moet nie eens 'n hond bekom in jou eie area en goed is praat wat hulle men kan relate. Zodat hulle vir jou kan hê. Wat ons deesdae sien byvoorbeeld is mense wat complain dat sy kry meer laaf buitekant as wat sy in jou plek kry, want sy het sommer immediately toe sy opstep, toe sy sommer op met mense van buitekant af geconnect, verstaan sy, op 'n universal level, want as mens nou internet, sy kan nou 'n ding uit sy die mense wat relate met het, is hy miskien in dieselfde plek wat sy is hy, maar hulle relate met het, so sy vlieg basically oor die koppe van jou eie mense, om te kan, maar sy is relatable en sy is
and I must
aan buitekant mense, verstaan?
I must support what he's saying, because in the southern suburbs, I'm well unknown. But you walk with this guy in Girls River, jeez, he's not a person you can walk past that's not going to greet him.
Yeah.
Nah, let him stay. Yes, you won't believe it. But it's
Can we talk about that community aspect in the south and the north? In terms of representation? Because at the end of the day, I'm fighting for this. I want to bring the word back, role model. Because the lighties don't use it anymore. I'm educated by day, every day. So the lighties don't use that anymore. So if you're saying the mense greet this one every day in the road, that is that thing that we're looking for. But that's not the acknowledgement we're looking for, but we want the lightie also to know, look at here, you can be the next Creed, the next DJ Tekneek. Because for me, the lighties, I know a lightie want to be a DJ. I want to say, here's DJ Tekneek, follow him. This is where it's going. You can follow him. But we don't do that. We go, master on a beat.
But you see, I think in the southern suburbs, hip hop was a lot of us, myself included, we looked towards America for a lot of things, 90s, 2000, whereas they were representing their community because they spoke in the community's language. So automatically they were more acceptable to the community. So our people, especially English people, we were very underground. But because they were using Afrikaans, it couldn't be underground. It was of the people.
Yeah.
Ours was underground because it came from America and it was music that wasn't on the radio. Their music didn't have to be on the radio or it didn't have to be popular. It was already music of the people because it is music of the people. It's of the people. And then they were accepted. But we were underground. You never heard our stuff on the radio. You saw us walking around in the street with Gucci bag, black jeans and the chains is hanging in the... That guy was satanic. He's a problem. Kijk de paas. Ski goggles, it don't even snow here, but with the beard, it's a problem. It was a problem.
Because I wanted to touch on that, like, we also have that lid of the type of music we listen to. Because I wanted to speak about that. That was again, I watched again, you mentioned something so fucking brilliant, which was the language of the people. I first want to ask you this one, first question. And then you also translate. Was it like you always played the language of the people, or did you have a moment, nah, I'm going to play Afrikaans music now? And then secondly, was then after that, it's like, now we got this, everybody's listening to it. You said something like, you used to get a hip hop, what you call it, Battle of the Year album, all the different languages. You drop everything. And how do you feel? Do you feel there's still a lid on the language? But firstly to you, was there a transition to Afrikaans? Well, it was like, nah, it was always your thing.
Transition from playing the music, yes. I always listened to it, but playing it, yes, because the Jola, I was playing it so long ago now, some of the Jola that I can't remember the names. But it was strictly American kind of underground hip hop. Raucous Records was a big name, obviously, in those times. But now that, like, I move around with him, I see this... Although a small following, I don't think it's small. I think it's a huge following. But how do I explain it? There's a smaller following, but there's a following, and it needs to be made bigger. Yes. And there's still that mindset of the Owens. I actually had a conversation with somebody on Facebook. Not a conversation, more of an argument. Because the one guy he's from a poorish area in Cape Town, and he said to me, maar dat klink so skolies. I said, aware or my Baru was also considered at some point a skolly taal, if you think about it. Lighties are evolving, language Afrikaans is evolving. You can't try and put them in a box, read the salt and let them express themselves. This is how they want to do it. And this is what English people do. It's so easy to Afrikaans rap. Now it's two problems. It's a rap and it's in Afrikaans. You know what I mean? It's a double fucking problem for some people.
Who's the problem?
But the streets. The people are there who this music is made for.
Die mense kan relate met dit, man, as hoe ons praat, man, sien sy. Baie kere moet jy gechange, dan moet jy jou mondronding moet jy in plekke, om sekere plekke in te pas. Maar deesdae die manne worry net because why, is miskien nou nie alles nie, maar die artists kry baie views, hulle kry baie traction op social media, en die vir my is 'n testament dat daar's klomp belangstelling
Wat?
Ons moet miskien net miskien die infrastructuur om die artists wat die 50.000 views kry of 100.000 views kry. Net 5.000 van die mense te mobilise om by sy show uit te kom, om vir hom live te sien. Van die infrastructuur is nie daar nie, because as jy kyk Afrikaans, as Kaap is heavy Afrikaans, dan moet sy Noord-Kaap toe gaan, in 17 sy. Dan moet sy Namibia uit te groot maak.
Kan jy dink aan can you think of an example? Kan jy dink aan 'n example? For a breakthrough through the lid with the language. Besides I don't want you to use your because everybody's gonna listen to the cream machine after this. Please do. But another example, like, because I know I'm not to say you want to shout out to another artist, but because it is breakthroughs, man, that we want to say, like,
but
with yourself, because I think it feels like a breakthrough.
In saying what you're saying, I don't think there needs to be a breakthrough. It's already there. The breakthrough has already happened. We went to Lambert's Bay.
Nice. Give it.
Was it Lambert's Bay? Last year Easter? Net voor je motje zeker uit. We came, it was on the sports field. And that is when hip-hop hits you, the word of cream 100 times, and I heard of cream 100 times, and there was in Tabas, was in mensen gezien.
100%.
But you never realized the magnitude of this gentleman here. The lighties, small children, middle age, teenage lighties, 17, 18, and old people, 20 to 30, ran, they dropped like a sweet around ants. They just flocked to him. I'm talking about the ran. There's no breakthrough required. It's huge. It's huge.
That's like an active, hoe kan ik zeggen, industry.
And but I understood like because you created this, so there's not. I don't like to talk about stories. It's not a success story. It must still continue. You know what I mean? Success is not a that wasn't. It was still continuing. The success wasn't getting the degree. It was every day you went to university. Because that's one of the third thing I was going to talk about is, and it was so important that I was going to talk about this when I was going to talk a lot about your career, because something you spoke about is, it's called the law of process. The leadership isn't built in a day, it's built daily. Because people will be like, were you born this good? Nah, every day. Your craft is every day.
Yes.
That process, you know what I mean? Every day you're in that process. Because that's what I want to find is we must give a recipe, man. Because a recipe must have, you do this, and then this will come out.
The kids won't like it.
But now again, this is called growing your professional self.
Fast food society.
I say every week, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. I just want people to grow. So if we can give a klein bitchy, because the menses everybody's looking for a template, deze technique. They're looking for a template, deze technique. This is how I become him, and I'm just going to add the S.
Ja, so especially mijn Afrikaanse brein, kan jy amper sê, entertainment, is nog baie jonk, man. So meeste van die pioneers wat die generation wat nou currently daar is basically besig om die boek te skryf. Is besig om die blueprint te skryf, want daar is nie 'n YouTube video wat jy na toe kan gaan nie. Wat vir jou kan sê, of 'n manual wat vir jou sê, so moet jy maak, jy moet jy doen. Is net mense wat dit aangehou het en mense wat aangekap het met hulle ding, verstaan jy?
Ja.
So, vir my is dit 'n man wil dit ook nie hoe kan jy sê, 'n groot filosofie maak hier, want is net geankapper heel tyd sien.
Liever dit.
Sy try die het weekie, maar dan try sy die kan om. Gaan sy weer kan om.
Daar is die ingredients, daar is genoeg. Dankie.
Just before we came on air, we spoke about it and the young kids who are not doing things according to laws that we thought existed.
Yeah, right.
A lot of people on Facebook are saying the forefathers and the godfathers of hip hop, they're doing their own thing. They're not worried about the laws that we were taught, and they just doing it. And like Nanto said, they sometimes sample things that we would raise an eyebrow at. Let the lighters do what they must do. As long as they with skill and ability, then it's hip hop.
Yeah.
Because remember, hip hop came from old school funk breaks, and people flipped it with skill and ability. And then it became something. It's alive. It can't be kept in a box like that. It must grow. It must evolve. Something must happen.
Ja, jy moet nou net soos ek sit agtertoe, kyk maar net wat die ouens aanvang, want ek is excited ook vir hulle, want hulle miskien besef nie, maar een man zegt, oké, wat gaan die ouwens mee opkomen, man?
Ja.
Maar ik weet hij van waar ze begin, even als ze songs schreef, waar ze begin.
En dan is het voor jou om te evolve samen.
Ja.
Om relevant te blijven.
Exactly.
Of course. Otherwise you fall by the wayside. It's the same thing with scratching. Scratching in Europe is evolving completely separately to scratching in the United States. They're still very focused on like 2-click flares and combinations of scratches, where the Europeans are taking simple scratches like chirp flares and they're doing 19,000 different things with the chirp flare. At incredible speed, at incredible accuracy is happening there. So you want to be relevant in the scratch game? Learn both sides of it.
Yeah.
Understand the old school way of doing things and learn this way of doing things as well.
Because I want to give this to you. I really enjoy listening to you talk about DJing, brother. It's the jargon is like I'm sitting here like, scratch your flip. Vandaag ik zo op je blij lang voor. Plus I start to ask you about hamster and all that other stuff. I'm like, yes, brother.
Because the king of Zoom, by the way.
Hij is zeker doen als hij praat met hamster. Mensen zouden denken, praat met de rotator.
People know he don't have hamsters running around in his house. Please, it's not running. They're thinking, hey, that's man have his own technique. The hamster run around flipping the thing. But I say this because this is what the show is about, like a professional. And this is what I want to talk about. The other law, I want to do the maintenance for, and the fourth one, I mean to go back to the other one, is the navigation thing. Because I feel the two of you are in that law and navigation part now, which is the fourth one, because you've broke through the lid. Now this man, John C. Maxwell, has written a whole shitload of books on leadership, leading leadership manskap. So he says, if you don't get past the first law of the lid, don't go read the others. And we know there's clone people just eating things. So they don't get past that lid, because you've eat past it. You know what I mean? So now, the navigation part for me is what I want to get to you is, you met DJ Tekneek and you met Cream, because now when you navigate, you find people that can add most value to where you are in the game. You know what I mean? Because I want to speak about that, like,
my question is now, hoe het elkaar gemeet, like, man?
Yeah, that's the navigate. Yeah, I want to find it.
Royal Racing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the idea of Cream and Tekneek maakt het sense. Maar ik zou niet gedacht aan hem.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think we also said
Kijk, hij was die DJ geweest bij de twee van die events bij die Royal Rush Center van TN. Dan hier bij aan de Eslong. En ik denk 2 events het ons gedaan, maar het was die plan die, maar hij heeft die shit gespeeld van al die MC's. En hij was in die kat, man.
En nog één CD kaak of jouw backtrack.
Ja, maar ik weet exactly.
Toen maak ik een beat aan, to cut.
En bij ons kan hij vangen zien. Even voor allemaal die andere MC's, wat daar was, niet net voor mij niet. Heeft hij wat noemt het? Niet, aangepast bij hulle set, man. Maar niet voor hulle uitgegooid niet. En hulle het gegreen. Wat je kan zien, baie van die DJ's is, niet DJ's, maar selectors en zo, wat die sound dit speel, hulle druk maar net play en dan, en even als er een probleem komt en dan zal hulle nie hulle uit kan krijgen.
But the hip-hop way is a DJ and an MC, mas. That is how it is.
I nog een perspective, ik was een DJ voor een lange tijd geweest. But there's a relationship between where you need to flow. Als je braam mistake maakt, moet het zijn.
Of course, yes.
Als je set wilt zijn, met performance, you must listen to what he's saying, right?
You must be he's not performing there on his own on that stage. I'm involved.
Even though people don't see you.
Yes.
But David is an unsung hero actually in the film.
Nah, he's definitely.
And I think that's where the idea came, because we were performing, and somewhere along the line something was happening with the MP3s by the control booth. And so I was like, nah, this brother's now already on stage. I can only know net op hom happy. The eyes start drumming to cut and he just kept on driving.
Kijk, je nou zoals nou die dag bij een ander event ook, wat ook zei, hulle boek ons net een DJ voor die hele aand. En dan speel hy die hele ding, sien ze. En nou zoals bij een event, waar die DJ wil niks verstaan van, my DJ gaat nou my ding doen nie. Hy wil my ding speel, sien ze. Zeg nee bro, ons het eerst gebruik.
Hij man dit zo met my. Ik ga nog niet
By die point, en ons is bezig om ons set op die stage te amend. Want wat ons gecheck het, ons gaat speel, gaan ons nie nou meer
Dat weet
speel
je meer
nie.
zo lekker niet.
So, hy weet exactly hoe gaan ons nou die ding haalop en ek weet exactly hoe gaan ons nou die ding. Based op hoe ons
Maar mannetje,
based op hoe.
Maar mannetje, wat
Nee,
is
hy staan steek, ja.
ook iets weet.
Hy staan steek.
And that's another lad in the game though. No one, I'm a DJ.
I left it to him. Kijk eens zo man. I'm an unknown quantity. Als cream gepraat, dan dit cream gepraat. So I kept saying to this bra, kijk eens zo. Cream's DJ, it's good to set me one. Because I didn't bring any equipment. So we were using this bra's equipment.
Okay.
Also the controller's already flopping. Controller's playing things too fast. So now I'm standing and I'm watching what is going on. And but boy got control. His hands is moving and he's doing a with this. And the more I'm telling him, okay, Kareem's next, and the more boy is just not budging, like he's just fast. And then Kareem told him, kijk eens hoe dis my DJ, and so the oma versak. Just how it is.
So now
the DJ get no respect.
Because now when we talk about that, so
respect.
because now it's a navigation mode now.
Yeah.
This thing need to be successful.
Ja, ons moet
Because how long have you guys been working together?
Yeah, een half stuk now.
Ja, jaren en een half. about
So
jaren en een
and again, you always need to navigate to a successful event. You need to
Yes.
give off quality.
Yes.
Always, you know,
Simple,
audience
simple.
of one, audience of 100,000.
It's
Always
simple.
need to be
Nantel
that
and I can
quality.
get on turntables now. We can play back to back because we come from hip hop. He comes from hip hop. It's simple. It's the same language. It's the same language. It all just makes sense. I understand what he must do because I've watched a million MCs do it. He understands what must happen because
You
he's
know what,
watching
nah?
other people.
You talking about that, nah? When I started that group, nah, and I had to be a sound technician for the MCs, for the presenters.
Oh, for that,
offsite, right?
yes.
Then I would imagine like they the MC, ik was a DJ, but it's just a different setting.
Yeah.
And that actually paid me nogal for
Nice,
that life nogal. You know what I'm
Hij is
saying?
heavy.
Because like you have to have that mindset in the game. Like I know, as they say, the show must go on.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Adapt to die, all
Yeah.
those different things in the game. But now you've, I mean, like I look how long, longevity. I like to call it now, I'm in the business game, I have a business, so sustainability. You know, so people go ROI, return on investment, right? Normal. And then there's another term that TD Jakes brought out now called E to I, effort to impact. Where that is more focused on like how long you're gonna stay in the game, the sustainability part. And I want to ask you about that. So your music now, how do you feel? How do you feel it's gonna evolve? Because now you've got this technique, and I feel you obviously bring your own. I think what I want to do, I wrote it down. Is like it's the expertise, man. Like your expertise in the game, like nobody can take that. They probably can't talk your language. You just need to say. Okay, I'm not even gonna try to say one of the stuff. Or you ask someone, can you play hamster? And they go, where did this thing run around? So that level, man. That's why I say there's levels to the shit. And unfortunately, Tekneek, Cream Machine, you must take the titles that people give you. So people say, if on Google I DJ.
As long as the people that
it's quite
the radio
like-
write up didn't I wrote it.
No,
I didn't write that right.
It's quite write-ups, and then the people say this about you, that about you. You must take it, bro.
It's tough
Because
to accept things like that because I actually am also quite introverted in myself.
Yeah.
So it's tough to take when people say things like that about you.
Yeah.
It's not simple.
so, but that's where I feel that you guys navigating you into the next phase now. You know, together. Where do you think the inspiration draws now? What's next? What's the next point for
Ik
you?
denk die kwaai ding vir ons is baie live, man. En especially met social media. Sy kan direct met jou audience kan sy communicate. So sy kry 'n feel van wat hulle wil hê, wat hulle likes, wat hulle nie likes nie, because ons criticize onsself ook like nah geeks en sê wat die hell was hy. but met social media soos ek sê like sy kan real-time feedback kry van mense af en sy kan jou goed real-time regmaak wat jy wil sê. So sy is difficult om outdated te raak as jy heeltyd involved is met die mense en sy doen so baie live shows. Verstaan jy? Die probleem wat ek het is like ook soos 'n brava wat low self-esteem gehad het en so. Net die rap, as ek net die rap is ek confident. Hy is altyd wanneer ek confident is. Is like het was kwaai gewees in die begin wanneer jy nog nie regtig reputasie het nie en sy kan bewys man. soos in syfers.
Ja.
My ouens kan onthou back in the days is daar enige event gewees het, maak nie saak wie perform nie.
Die MC's
Die
staan
MC's
buite.
is buitekant en die B-boys even is besig met hulle eie syfer.
Ja.
Want as bewysingstyd sien ze, as bewysingsmethodes, daai was ook 'n ding om vir jou te drive man, sien ze. Miskien is dit nie nou meer op high level nie, maar ek mis hy waar, hoe kan ek sê waar ek myself moet bewys, want mense kom nou klaar met 'n expectation. So ek kan net so het vol.
Jy kan net
Daai is die ding man. Ek kan net die expectation nie reach nie, man. En daai is heavy. Nou het ek low self-esteem towards daai man, wanneer ek miskien.
So, you wanna answer this, that maybe that's part of the lid, like you still sitting.
Sy wil net die hele tyd.
You have to knock it off all
Sy
the
wil net
time.
die hele tyd, ja. En sy
You have
wil
to
ook nie.
be- And that's the important thing that you know, like, nah, I need to knock it thing off
Yeah.
all the time.
I had my answer set up, and I think it's the same answer. The same answer that when I got into this thing is the same answer now. I have a fear of being whacked, my bro. I don't want anybody to ever turn around and be able to tell me I'm whacked.
Ja.
Oh, nah, and that's,
It's just something that drives me in this thing. Like, I still scratch 3-4 hours a day. Yeah.
mas,
Still.
'cause you,
4 hours a day. At least 3. In the morning there'll be one, and then
David Goggins.
the evenings is a serious one. After Aaron's play, that's so 2 hours.
Ja, bro. Ja, nee.
10,000 hours, ladies and gentlemen, David Goggins, you need to put in that amount of level to get that amount of respect, that amount of expertise in the game, and just like, do you now feel like now in the game, like you have flow, like you know where it's going next? I feel when I look through your, so you see every year there's something coming out from Kareem, you know, through the years, boom. These things all the time, it's popping up.
Releasing music, I just want to say it.
Ja, so.
Yeah, and that's where you wanna, because at the end of the day, our kids are looking for relevance.
Ja.
Because when I ask them, like, I say representation. Who's our best DJ? They don't say anything. You know what I mean? So we're looking for that. Because for me, as an educationalist, because we're all educating all the time, is we need to promote, and it's not even a good enough word. You need to first make them aware.
Ons moet net gefreed wees om hulle te
Like I have a lady now, so one of my ex-students, he teaches, he does the facilitation for Afrikaans. The first thing we did was, he said, nah, I need to kill the Afrikaans, the language of the oppressor. That man took it right back. He's busy writing the trilingual dictionary for Afrikaans.
What was your lyric?
So when I listen, is that way we wanna, you must keep on pushing, because there is a breakthrough. You know what I mean? And how do we see that? How do we see that coming for yourself? Even like,
Slaat eerst your lyric oor die oppressor, the language of the oppressor.
Ja, like way big het ek gesê mos. Like, is die taal van die oppressor? Nee, not a damn. Die is die taal van die professor. Ek praat aan slang. Verstaan jy? Want ek maak my eie ding met het. Verstaan jy?
ja man.
En hoe langer ons aangegaan het, like, daai is hoekom Afrikaans is nou met die internet is like, is soos 'n breath of fresh air. Want het was uitgehou. Verstaan jy? Nou is dit soos 'n nuwe ding, maar ons het dit gemaster in die tyd wat dit nie 'n mainstream focus gekry het nie. So jy kan nou deesdae Arends wil kyk op kyk net sonder dat hy ek dus hoef te praat soos hulle in sewende land praat. Ons weet almal die Afrikaanse actors wat in byvoorbeeld sewende land gespeel het, as dan wat van ons community
ons geïnterview, maar Mel praat daar, soos op Arendsvlei praat.
Exactly, daar is die kwaai ding met sulke soos Arendsvlei, even sy
Sy kan nou soos praat so wel.
even sy ooster tot op 'n mate. Is kwaai, is baby steps, maar ons moet dit celebrate, because daar was 'n tyd toe aan niks was nie, verstaan jy? Waar jy sien, nee, die hond is van die Cape Flats, maar as jy op die TV kom, dan moet hy 'n sekere standaard Afrikaans praat, sien jy so.
En ek was baie so, wie was dat rap? I think you even had this jacket on. On that one rap, dat was the espresso.
Ontreisiling, man, ontreisiling so.
Ooh.
Ja.
I don't know, because I thought, okay, probably gonna go with the mainstream.
Ja, kyk jy, nou, kyk jy, goed zo waren.
Let's brush through them off. You didn't tell them.
Oh, het is gevangen. Oh, even Tracy. Ja, even Tracy.
I didn't expect this. Salute.
Even Tracy Ling het het gezegd. Tracy Ling said,
Beautiful.
like, when we come back from the break, dan gaan ons nou lekker onze jippes voor Afrikaanse rijmkets. Ik zeg, oké. Zij denken zo'n party.
Wat ik in Afrikaans
Zien ze.
Maar brother.
But
That's what we do to
That song
mainstream.
which we released, I'm honest, bruh. Sky's about
Oh my
releasing a song.
goodness, that hurt me. I was like, oh,
If
there's
there's any
so
producers that want to send in a beat there for that song, please, I blame for that one a beat.
and you could, because I could see this is for, yeah,
So
not
yeah,
that beat.
Away.
So yeah,
Dude, just you know, it's like I watch a lot of Rick Rubin now. I watch Rick Rubin and Kendrick before I want to interview you guys.
Wow.
Because that's I mean, just listening to you when you were talking about having an album with different songs on from different languages, I'm like, it's what we used to do. Black Noise, my favorite song is Abada Capoeira. It's my favorite Black Noise song. And there's very little English in there, there's some Afrikaans there. But when I play it to the lighties, then they, okay.
Yeah.
So that awareness,
ding, 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 I think.
that awareness is important. And where you guys are with the expertise.
In Black Noise hulle het gekom by commercial events soos 'n carnival waar mense kom om 'n lekker tyd te eet. Dan kom Tiets hulle gou vir jou vir 'n uur of vir 'n halfuur capoeira.
Yep.
Sien jy, hy het dit
Is
voor
maar ding.
ons like, wat
Ja,
kan die aan
wat
die
kan
ons
die-
speel? Lang gitaar hier.
But it wasn't long before everyone was doing like a banana. What was that move? A
Bro,
banana?
pisang, everybody else pisang.
Everybody was doing
Allemaal
that
pisang.
move.
Yeah.
Allemaal het dit gedoen.
Then we
But
were
I
all
was-
playing Tekken 3, but I mean, I used to stand outside Westgate Mall and watching, and that was the route. So I want to touch on this as you there is events. Oh, because I was thinking the thing of artists, right? We need artists to be full time and everything else that comes with it. But there's not enough events, or do we need to create our own, more of our own, like we used to do? And it pop-ups like I remember Clipper Road. Okay, yes, it's now a cemetery, but Clipper Road June the 16 was a thing.
Vibe.
Was a vibe. June the 16 Clipper Road was Black Noise.
Ja,
and-
but soos in my experience, ons moet eers in onsself invest. Soos like,
Okay.
meeste van die hip-hop shows in die laaste tyd is like ouens wat in hulle eie sakke krap, so'n groot sponsors, so'n Hennessy agter hulle, so'n Absa agter hulle om feeste te gooi en sulke goed. As ouens wat hulle uit hulle eie sak uit geld moet vat, want hulle is fans van die Afrikaanse rappers, verstaan jy? En hulle believe in ons en even ouens wat Chole own, vat ook maar 'n risk man. Want als je eerlijk is, is het een risk om je Afrikaanse rapper te boek. En ons is ook hier getraind. Omdat we zo min opportunities krijgen om live goed te doen, live events te doen en zo. Dan kijk je die ouwens appreciate wat het betekent als iemand zijn eigen geld vat om voor jou een platform te geven. Even om voor jou te betalen is een risk wat hij vat, because wij, besides profit, hij kan niet eens guarantee, hij gaat geld terugmaken. Besides om een profit te maken. Want ons is hier in een steeds waar ons, ja, ons wil, maar ik denk ons is nog niet daar waar ons voor zo'n celebrities kan houden. En niet ons dialoog kan geven voor die organizers, wat die shows organiseren. Ons moet ook die ding like, maak het man, ons moet halen met het, verstaan ze? So, ik denk ons die succes van zoals je nog gevraagd over live events en zo, het depend op die artist zelf man. Die artist moet die event raken, because de einde van die dag, zij moet van mensen wezen dat zij kan mensen pool.
Yep.
Niet net jouw brazen wat sentimental voelen om voor jou te boeken, want hulle believe in jou niet. Zij moet dat kijken als een business. Is het sustainable voor die man om voor jou te boeken? Gaan hij zich geld terugmaken als hij voor jou boekt? Verstaan ze? So, als meer mensen die gaan zien, dan gaan ons groter sponsors in goed
We often have a light argument about this. I feel like a lot of the numbers.
Nou,
When we're drinking some beer and the rum and the sun, a lot of the numbers are skewed by this man. I think, you know, a lot of the people who love this Afrikaans hip hop, or you call it Cape Town hip hop even, don't even call it Afrikaans hip hop, are financially not by the means to support the artists that they love with all their heart. So they can't buy a $100 ticket to go see Cream. They can't. They hardly have data on their phone. They probably bought a WhatsApp thing. I'm not trying to make my own mentions work, but we have to realize the climate that we live in. If those people were balling and worked for big corporate, we'd be balling. You understand? He'd be bowling. He'd be.
Honderd.
I fell almost on my back when I realized the man got a day job when I met him the first time. I didn't know. Because you always hear cream, like he's cream. This Brassica loving large of the music, but he's not. And it's tough. So what we need is corporate who supply our people to come to the party. The people that eat the bread, the people that sell them the cool drink, the banalix, the stuff that's in the buy shop, that means that's making money of our people. That is the people we need to come to the party. Because they are the people that are making money off of us. Those are the people.
And then the other one is when we had last week, one of the artists on, he said something in Europe. They say is every time, Nentel, you can tell me if I'm staying corrected there, every time the song gets played, someone gets paid. So that was something he mentioned, and I want to tie that into, I think when we started talking, we were talking about focusing on the world and your music, and then Kareem obviously is massive in Kales River. Now, something Brian Rao spoke about is it's important to focus on your 100 true fans. And even if there's just that 100, and then it maybe balls to 1,000, even if they, like, we don't like to make our mains a swak. But if that 1,000 can buy let's say 1,000 can buy a 20 rand ticket, it does put something in the pocket. I know it's a different level, but we want to also get to the point of our people playing the music more. So yes, we're not getting them in front of your face, but we need to get them playing the music more. And that's also where we at. And I wanted to ask you again about that. Like, how do you feel about our music being? Is it being played more? Is there more of Cream on the radio, on the streaming? I know it's Spotify, DJs.
I listen to the radio a lot. I don't hear nearly enough Afrikaans hip hop. We live in Cape Town. How many people speak Afrikaans?
Sure.
Problem is, no? You've got a radio station that says connecting Cape Town, but you're not connecting the real Cape Town. You're connecting the Cape Town that you want to impress the
international.
The advertisers with. So you want to create an atmosphere and a look that looks appealing to an advertiser and not what's really happening. And what's really happening is the people that actually spend. So if you really think about it, if it's honest advertising, then you will feed to that people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is why even wat aansluit by wat hy sê is ek het 'n hele paar radio interviews het ek gedecline because ek wil nie net daar kom en 'n 15-minute interview te gee en my storie vertel en wat ewe nie. Ja. Maar daai selfe radio stations het sponsor groot artists om van Joburg af te kom en hier te kom perform, dan sit hulle nie een van die local ouens op nie. Ek meen nie een nie, verstaan jy? So, dan ons stories is lekker entertaining, ons kan lekker praat, ons het allemaal hou van die kante wat hulle nie sien nie, wat ze moest maar bij ons artists en so. Maar as ek hier wegstap, is die program at least 'n uur dedicated aan net Afrikaanse of music van ons mense, verstaan ze. Ja, en as hulle events het, is daar at least een line-up van ons mense wat het gaat maken op een line-up, verstaan ze. So.
As die mense wat daar is, man, like in die music met is, kijk je doen, ek het geskel aan met die ding, hy het van my geskel, die ex-station manager, maar hy is a cool guy, hy is unfortunately dood nou, but hy het wat 90-10 is, nou sê ek, kijk jy man, julle kan ons weer begin die ou nummertjes speel, soos JP, sy ou kapie, soos ek nummertjes man, speel hy numbers, nou sê, so Jayden, dis jou pa se radio station. Dat is wat jy braaf mense mekaar kaas vir almal. Wat moet mense hê wat die ding push man, soos easy en na easy, die hulle push it daarmee doen. But hulle kry obviously resistance van hulle sê, it's not people from the culture man. En hip-hop is a ding wat, there's a certain way want jy moet jouself leer hoe om hip-hop recht te luister man. Because jou flows is so vinnig, die commercial music is meer ABC, wat sy sê ABC, die vinniger weer man. So hulle moet nog geleer word hoe om het recht te luister man, en een recht te appreciate actually if you think about it.
It comes back to, it's Afrikaans and it's hip-hop. It's a two-pronged problem
Yeah.
for the radio.
Ja,
En dit moes
en ons brein ook.
So now this last night I was at the Cape Town Summit and Mayoral guy spoke about divergence. Now I'm thinking, what praat hy altyd van divergence? Anyway, you want Cape Town, the whole country must go that way, Cape Town go this way. Which is quite, a couple of graphs was quite of the stuff they want to do. But now I want to go to...
You said you weren't going to get political.
No, but I just want to use that in context of...
Is this like the...
I want to use
state
that
of
just
Cape
in the
Town?
background of the... Like the radio station of them playing. Like they're saying they're playing more Cape Town music. And I'm talking of all the radio stations. They're saying that we Cape Town radio station, but it sounds like they diverging. Like yes, you Cape Town, but you want to only play, for example, I'm going to use, you only want to play a song of Cream that sounds somewhat like...
Wat inpas in wat
that, like in the right cadence, in the right... It's fitting with that, so we're going to play maybe Raktati now this week, this month, because it's... but otherwise, then you don't hear anything for the rest, so we're going to play... They're never going to drop, and this is how Cream started. This was his first drop, this is Stamina. And, you know, but the backdrop, and then because again, for someone of your caliber, again, and even to deny a interview from the radio, it goes to show you know already what they're going to ask, which is the worst thing to go anyway. I hope that I asked a paar questions that you didn't expect since because you can't go somewhere like, oh, you're weer, waar het jy gebore, and where you from?
Generic goed,
Because like he said, they always want to know, they want your rags to riches story, waar het jy gewees en dit. But how do you feel about that in the radio? How, like, that, do you feel it's they wanting us to go to a certain way? Or, like, yeah.
I know. Listen, man. Play any song of Cream's. He's not going to do something that he's not embarrassed of. Play any song of his. And if people like it, then you play it again. But there is a local rap song for any buzz you want to do. They've got...
now,
you talking about Dames, say me what your name is. There's about 1 million of that songs.
Yeah.
That we made here in Cape Town. The Ratati, there's another 20.
Yeah.
There's sad songs. There's a brother called Matthew Joyner. They call him the Dell of Afrikaans.
Yeah.
Because that man will make you cry. But fuck. Quality. Crowbar's got his own unique style he's doing there. He will slut you from a rap, gevaarlijke 16, and sing a song after that. That'll make you joke. So we've got the spectrum is there, man. Don't tell us the spectrum's not there. Like we can't make people joel, or we can't make people sad. We can't put you in your feelings.
Alles is daar, ja.
Alles is daar.
But when
Alles
there's
is
a
daar.
problem, there is opportunity. That's what I say.
Yes.
Hij is
yes,
niks moe,
yes.
I mean, there's opportunity, there's Afrikaans. You're gonna add in there. I think Alex Charlie Cubido?
That's all my brasa there, so I don't know what is going on.
Is that Bully? DJ D'Angelo?
That's Bully. Ah, Bully, eh.
Bully, that was my back noise. Bully was, he came to school, I was teaching, his son also was at the school. And then I'm walking behind this man like, I'm Fagan.
Big
I'm
influence.
I'm an old man, he's cool man, yeah. I'm Fagan.
A big influence from
Like
me,
the
my
lighties, and these lighties like, why? I'm like, you don't know what your daddy used to do, my boy. You don't know. Like how that is, you know, and that level of, you know, I mean, if I had him at the table, obviously, shout out to you, Bolly. I'm
Bully
I'm
is
doing
my bully is jou.
Big influence
For
from me.
people is to speel met hom.
Ja,
Ja, braas.
everything.
You used to come to my house when we used to do those jams. You used to be there, yeah.
Nah, that
And
is
show me some scratches and
next
stuff.
level.
Big influence, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So just, ladies and gentlemen, Fagan Muller podcast, DJ Tekneek. Cream Machine, Cream is in.
Angelo.
Like and subscribe, eh?
The Angelo ongene.
Angelo and Clay, yeah.
Yes,
You
we
need
will
to get-
definitely
you need-
DJ
if you're being serious,
Angelo.
if you're being serious about things, you will get Alex Charlie Cupido also. Hello, Alex. He's doing a lot of things for Afrikaans hip hop, a lot of
Brilliant
gigs,
brothers.
functions, events. Unfortunately, we were rained out last week. Youth Day was it last week?
Youth Day, yeah, you're right.
16
2 weeks ago.
Correct.
2 weeks ago already now. He was going to have a thing at Battery Park.
Oh,
Strictly
nice.
Afrikaans artists.
Oh,
At the waterfront.
We're doing it again, Alex, please reach out to me. I run a educational facility and I want to bring all
Yeah, well, he's the one to speak to now. He's here.
yeah.
And then call
That's
Alexander.
DJ Juice. If you don't know now, you know that's DJ Juice.
Juice,
That's the
yes.
one that taught me how to do this DJ thing. Him and his brother Asif.
Asif, ja.
Asif has complaints van jou bouwwerk.
Ze kan nog alleen maar
Ik
zo
weet niet wat om
pimpie.
jou te zeggen. Hij zegt, als een probleem met die bouwwerk.
Liggen. Ik heb het kak gebruikt.
Hij zegt een lekker of iets. Ik weet niet waarom dat hier geplaasterd of iets gaat.
So, its ambition is never enough for ambitious people. So,
Juice is deep. He's deep like
to-
that.
and appreciate that because that's where we want to go. We don't have these conversations with you guys. That I don't think you guys get to share enough. People always want to ask you, what's your story? The rags to riches, where you from? What has it been?
Rags to riches.
But like I say. And again, like yesterday I found
not
out
even-
wealth is just about time. Thank you, Vusi Timbakwaya. Wealth is just time, Owens. And how you can even say you get your 2 to 3 hours a day. That's
I was actually going to bring it back to that. We say it's ambition, it's never enough. I am ambitious as far as like DJing is concerned. I want to be the most well-rounded scratch DJ I can be, or hip-hop DJ I can be. So that is ambition in itself.
Yes,
I'm sure
yes,
he wants
yes.
to be the dopest with his pen that he can be within himself. So there is ambition there.
So how do we take that? I must come into this. How do we take that the all round, and if we remove be the all round DJ, because again you inspiring the next gen. There is no matter what you feel, there is always a lighty watching you. There is one manskap here in his room trying to be DJ Tekneek and trying to be Cream Machine and mimicking everything. Don't know how he's gonna mimic hamster, but you'll get it right.
You mustn't stay away from that.
But again, that part is also gonna be part of your journey. You know what I mean? And that's probably gonna be in the next 20 years.
I'm happy to teach. I come from the school of each one, teach one. I think a DJ school should not be a thing that exists. Even he knows how, I know how. Phone me, send me a WhatsApp, get hold of me on Facebook.
Brilliant.
Anything you need to know, I give to you for free. It's gonna cost you already enough in blood, sweat, and tears. It's difficult. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I don't need to make money off that. That's not something you make money off of. That is something you give somebody for free. I'll teach you how to do a 2-click flare. I'll teach you how to boomerang. I'll teach you all that stuff for free. You don't go to a DJ school. If you have really, I will show you how to do it for free. It's
And
not-
again, we only have one DJ academy. We know there's a more curriculum DJs. I was just also saying like, it's not that if you're this color, you have to do this. And if you're this color, you must play this. And if you're this color, you must do this. We need more people that want to put their hands in the game. You know what I mean? Because that next gen is only gonna, because you were saying your inspiration comes from looking what they're doing. So if you don't jump on that bandwagon and they stop evolving, then you stop evolving. So just again with you, like, do you feel that there's another transition for your music now again?
Yeah, for me personally, sometimes I feel like I can experiment more because I've proven myself already. That is why I said like when I watched the last week's episode of you guys, to as who say, I voel as restrictions en hy wil basically buite kan die box gaan. Ek dink dat jy jouself bewys het, obviously gaan mense kom vir jou because jy's 'n nik. Jy's 'n nik. En mense gebruik vir jou om hulle eie beliefs te hê. Sy's een van die redes hoekom hulle in 'n sekere ding belief, sien jy. Maar ek dink as kom 'n level waar jy ook ander goed wil try man, wat jy ook en ons almal het al, ek het self 'n paar goedes gedoen en music numbers gemaak. Wat ek terugkyk het sê ek, hy is weak. Maar ek moet getry, dus dan sy so van 'n jong ouderdom af en hoe jonger sy is, hoe meer speel sy met die goed. Hy sê kom ek net om gesê het like ek is excited om te hoor wat die ladies nou doen in totally a different direction as wat die ouens voor hulle gevat het, is dan sy. Want ek wil ook kyk waartoe gaan die ding man. En obviously dit moet het moet reflect het moet reflect op jou surroundings man. Sy moet in tune bly met die mense want as jy heeltyd die earphones op, sy skryf jou eie ding, sy's besig met jou eie ding. Sy gaan tats verloor.
Ja.
Men die mense wat sy naartoe rap, die mense wat sy naartoe.
Jy ben net gesê jy kry inspiration sommer by jou week of net met die ouens.
Like
die snelste plek waar hy inspiration kry wat hy vir my sê die goed is wat hy skryf.
Ja, like,
Ah,
als zij in
ja,
jouw
ik
kamertje
laat
is,
me
en
klaar,
als zij in jouw kamertje is, zij zie je niet taxi niet, zij zie je op je pad niet, zij zie je niet Joel of wat even niet. Hoe weet ze wat dat buiten kan aan zien ze?
Ja, bro. So you, zij het weer klom, boeketjes,
Ja,
pen,
bro, het-
schrijf.
ja,
I bring this book with every week. That's the book I made when I was 7 years old.
Ja.
Pasted Liverpool pictures in here.
Ja,
Ja,
goeie
ik zie
weg,
elke
bro.
week hij boek.
You see every week book.
Ja, elke week zie ik hij
So,
boek.
because in here, I used to love a blood to Peter Drury, you know?
yeah,
So I feel
yeah,
this is that coming out now, that. And this was why I became a pro footballer. I didn't play PSL, NFD. But I bring it out every time just for that reminder and also to show everybody whatever gets recorded, gets rewarded. I'm sure you also got a column, bookies where you make notes and stuff.
I got
And
a lot of blaadjes in.
plaatjes,
Stuck on the wall.
stick
Ja, bro.
posters, huisjes weer vol, kamertje. And that is that level of expertise you need the ladies to understand. Where you, now I put it on my phone, don't talk nonsense. This thing, I mean, this thing, yeah. The two most powerful tools.
Ja.
But it starts with
In die
pen.
uitkrap van het ook, when you're writing something. Als je iets uitkrap ook, man. Als iets van iets doodkrap, van ze het een bittere lijn. En die uitkrap blijft daar boven, man. Maar als je delete van een phone of van een notepad af, zij vergeet basically dat de mistake gemaakt of hoe ze gestruggeld het. Maar het was altijd voor mij kwaai om te zien als ik een boek geschreven had, hoe ik goed is. Ze zien die visual van het, man.
And going back, man. Going
Ja,
back.
dan
you
moet je
maybe
veel
die
in het
number.
zamp als je gaat recorden of wat even. Nou, zamp ze veel in, maar ze zien your mistakes like.
Aye.
With DJing also now there's something called TTM, so it's like a scratch notation, so we can actually write out our scratches. And that's the papers you'll see in my videos in the background there.
Okay.
Because you'll sit at home and you're like, and you'll draw the scratch, so line going up like that will be forward with the record motion and back will be back, and then the cuts will be where you're closing and opening and closing the fader. And then you'll sit and you'll work it out, and you write it down, you have an idea.
Nah,
And then you're like,
love
nah, ik weet het. En
Love
dan
it.
get some paper away, and then you're slatting it.
No, I love that level of influence because last law before we close off, we got still a couple of minutes left. Is they say leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. The lower influence. You both influence a generation. That's what you. And again, I'm gonna say, unfortunately, you must take the titles people give you. So you influence a generation, and that's what you motivate, you inspire. You don't need to do it. You just need to be.
Ja.
You know what I mean? So how do you feel now moving forward, the two of you together? First with Owen and Cream can maybe start there. How do you feel if two of you working together is gonna influence another gen? Because I wanted to speak also about, like, maybe I was gonna touch on never you, like maybe a sidekick. Getting a Robin there behind the Batman. I love that. What's next? Here you go. But there is that part of the influence also. It can just be one.
Yeah.
You know it, Angela. You know it. It just be one. Call it back in the day, the house nigga.
That's not right.
That's all right. But you just need that. We need that one man to also see the light and then the influence pause. How do you see that now? Taking now for the influence, moving to the next gen.
Als je in jouw handen niet, because mensen zitten ook klaar daar. Dat is wat ik geleerd heb zien. Zij kan niet deciden, zo ik heb nou een dag een workshop ook gegeven, dus zeker die mensen.
Here we go.
Ik is flawed in all my ways. Ik is een jouwse probleem. Maar in die aard, is dat mensen wat wil van mij, van die music perspective af. En ik heb eerst notes of goed is gehad, because zoals ik zei, als je een boekje verdient, man. Dan staan ze die goed te komen. Zij praten die goed van die hart af, maar bij een van die dag, die mensen wil hij horen die real story van jou verstaan.
Ja.
Even, daar is een organisatie, nou een Afrikaanse rip, wat PHE, Public Health Entertainment, wat een jaar terug, 2 jaar, 3 jaar terug, toen vooral mij hulle wil like een woord voor mij geven voor wat? Voor
Hall
of Fame, man.
Oh,
maar it's
fuck
like,
it. Yes,
it's like,
brother.
Kind of like a lifetime
it's like, ze
achievement.
zijn net al gezegd, like, als er dingen is, als er problem is, als er een solution is, dus is klaar altijd, die man recognize ons en allemaal
Ja.
en die ouwens komen en hulle besluit, kijk, ons gaat beginnen die rappers recognize, ons gaan beginnen die Afrikaanse artists beginnen,
Yes,
local
man.
artists beginnen, en hulle halen blikken met het, maar ik heb met hulle vastgezet voor about 2-3 jaar, ik met hulle vastgezet, because ik zeg, guys, jullie kan niet voor mij een Hall of Fame gaan, because ik is nog live niet in direct En
I see what you
ik het daar's mensen voor mij man. Wat ik weet, nee, dat is je hoor. Zo, misschien jullie kennen niet, maar maak jullie zelf wijs man. Gaat zoeken een beetje vanuit van Isaac, vanuit van Mr. DWS,
Ja.
vanuit Ready D om zelf een Afrikaanse rapcapaciteit, besides die DJ.
ja.
Zijn naam is...
Ja bro, ja zo. Ik heb al eindelijk aangeraaid om mij te doen. En ik hoop al zag het na, maar toen heb ik peace gemaakt, toen willen die next jaar weer terugkomen bij mij informatie. Nee, maar ons gaat nog steeds die ding voor jou geven, because zij het voor ons is hier, ons kennen die mensen, zien ze.
Ja.
Zij is die man wat voor ons blootgesteld aan Afrikaanse rap. Toen own ik man, die man, zien ze. Maar zo, dat is die next level van het om het. Als je bij jou niet man.
Nee, bro,
Als je
maar-
bij mij niet, zien ze.
As you by I'm not even lie to you. I can't even read it now. I'll read you here. You have to take the titles, the law of influence. So unfortunately, you must take the title of a Hall of Fame.
Ja.
But with the title, is you understand there's influence. But you're influencing us in the right way, must man.
That's yeah.
You're then influencing this man to also, hey, you need to acknowledge this man and this man. And like there's a lot of DJs, because I don't like what you said, I'm unknown. You say I'm unknown
Quantity.
unknown. Is that you know that there's some guys that you would also be like, because I've listened to some of your interviews where you give a lot of like, nah, this one and this one and this one's also doing it and this one's doing it. And our means need that also, man. They need you to say, hey, Zukwai, hey,
Yeah.
even if they are, as you feel better than you,
Yeah.
but also the others, you know what I mean? There's
It's
this man.
important, yeah, of course. At this point, before I forget, my crew is Stylist Destroyers, DJ Juice,
Yes.
it's DJ Munty, DJ Blue Moon, who by the way was the SA champ 2 years ago. Nobody even the DMC champ.
I don't know that.
So that Munty,
Is it Blue Moon? Was a B-boy
Munty,
also?
Blue Moon, DJ Juice and me. That's for us. Shout out to Stylist Destroyers and the IPC before this. Now I've paid my dues here on your
And I-
podcast. Because I know the winner is watching, and if I get over here tonight and I don't get a shout out, then I'm also deep in the problem.
Do you also want to fill your shout-out list?
Ja, ik is goed bro.
Ja,
Ik heb nog
ja.
een question. I still have one. Kijk hier, so jullie perform nou samen, right? Voor een jaar nou. So wanneer kan ons numbers hoor wat hulle twee feature, because I'm feeling a gangster vibe.
Oh,
You
you
know what
took
I'm
the
saying?
words, man, bro. I wrote it down here.
Sorry man, fuck man.
Daar is deze hele pa.
The Bluetooth is on.
There's a track that we already recorded where we only had him in the visuals and decided afterwards. Het lijkt me squai man, die luchtjes op die nieuwe turntables. Die techniques was ons donker zien ze, die hele luchtjes zien ze. Nou het lijkt quite veel effect. Toen dus we hem gehad daar zo, op die shoot van die dag om net like te... En achterna nogal gezicht met bro, doen like rerig scratches op die track van het gaat simpel, like als je nou zien is het DJ maar zo wow, rerig en hij is bij je bizar
Was
bij.
it track Koppel Benny Gods? You did a joint with Isaac Mutant and Fungus?
Ja, hij is also on
I
that
did
track.
scratch the chorus for that. It's here on my phone.
You know, Nanto's asking for an exclusive, the two of you
Unreleased
track.
goods that is,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not mastered, so Albera from Next Level is not going to be happy. We just let that one out.
He's already
You know,
quite
you
to
know,
say that.
while we're talking, obviously being a DJ, I don't release a lot of music myself, so I'm not a recording artist. I've never realized how long it takes to release music. It's incredible. The things that these people need to go, he's got joints, and I know other artists now that are moving in these circles. Music just lies here, and now I know why Tupac can die and have like 42 years
Post-unanimous.
worth of music. If he dies today, obviously we don't want that. There's music here for another 2 years. I don't understand how it works. Still don't understand why it takes so long for things to get out. It frustrates me, but I just wanted to say that.
So I'm sending that into the energies there. Please encouraging, please somebody
The
come
open whatever's
into our
blocking.
industry and just we need to release these things quicker because other means can post things and create things like it's nobody's business.
Ja bro, ons overthink ook sometimes goed.
Ik wil nog niet gezegd, dus misschien because ons wil het as close to perfect it is wat ons het kan maken.
Yeah, so I wanted to speak about one thing you also mentioned earlier is that not having that support, mentorship, that also that besides the manager must manage what all the other stuff, and you do your artists. There's also that You know, there was the Tony Robbins one that keep you going, you know. You're on the right path, like you were saying, low self-esteem, but at the end of the day, need to tell you that, my bro, like, I'm a low self-esteem, you're going to stand in front of 40, 20, 1,000 lighties, and they're all going to want to hear your story. Unlucky, you have to take the title that you get. So if you knew this, I always call it, if nobody pointed it out to you, you'll never know it exists. There's some bullshit the stuff you pointed out to me about the industry that I didn't know exists. And I hope that I pointed things out to you. You know what I mean? That didn't exist because you are a leader in your own right. Like I was saying in that message, you know, you lead daily. You know it's a process. You know it's every day. You know every day you must do 2-3 hours of scratching. This man's got notebooks for days. Wherever he's sitting in the barber, just had an argument now with you.
Shout out Dino's barber. You must come around there with Dino's barber when they get a fight.
So it looks like I'm going for another fight. But yeah, just to end it off, brothers, let's touch on just before we go. Marco Solomons, gevaarlijke show, guys. Cream, het een man gedraaid van Engels naar Afrikaans rap. Jordan Marco, a.k.a. Vampire, die kanten. Thanks, Owens. Man is...
Say Marco, my bro, man. Respect,
Marco changing lanes even because of the...
Nice, yeah, Marco.
So shout out to Devin Murphy, that's my swatchy there with the 100 Club is 100%.
Thank you, brother, man. Thank you for tuning in and to everybody else out there. But as I always leave, the worst question is, it's the two of you together. But what can we expect from you for the coming year?
29th. We didn't sign anything, but I think we've got a couple of gigs lined up, and then we'll put it on the socials.
Yeah,
brilliant.
We'll put it on the socials.
Hopefully dropping a few tracks in August. There's a Showmax short film that I did a soundtrack for. I'm actually meeting with those men now Friday over a few beers. That's always mandatory. And then we're gonna discuss the release of it because they want me to release the video. I did a full music video for that one. Gonna release the video with in line with the release date of the short film.
Okay.
En dan ook moet Jeff mijn video klaarmaken. Jeff Hoekens zet op een video van mij. Als hij het video net, dat is nog al een jaar. Ja, zo ja. En dan dat is basically up to Jeff. Muller voice, is die track zijn naam. En dan kan Muller voice release worden once Jeff klaar is. Maar blokken eerste.
En
Way back is het klom goed. Het is net basically net knopjes drukken en dan moet het release
worden. Man, singing songs also, don't
yeah, bro.
I love you. Oh, gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you shared. I hope it was something insightful. And again, Fagan Muller podcast, growing your professional self.
Ja, dat is het.